Gaurav Sawant continues to be with us. Gaurav, the Amarnath Yatra is on, and the name of the operation is Operation Mahadev. What I've seen in the past few days, especially since Pahalgam terror, that if they want to target, especially the Hindu community members, the operation will be Operation Sindoor and now Operation Mahadev. And of course, because it's the abode, the Kashmir Valley is the abode of Lord Shiva after all.
You've hit the nail on its head. Kashmir Valley is the abode of Lord Shiva. And when we go back to our civilizational history, that is what we are coming back to. That these radical Islamist terrorists, they may have tried repeatedly over centuries to change the demographic profile of the Kashmir Valley, and especially in our times in 1990. It will not be permitted once again. There will be consequences and there will be a response should that attempt be made. That's the point that Narendra Modi government has made repeatedly. Point one. Point two, this Operation Mahadev, because of that Mahadev forest area, mountain area in that region, the Mahadev hills,
yes.
What they are doing is, from information, local intelligence, because locals were giving a lot of intelligence inputs for the past 2 months. And twice, I'm told, in the past, it was almost done. Information was also shared with army headquarters in Delhi and up the chain of command that those terrorists had almost been nabbed. But unfortunately, they managed to dodge the security forces by the time their operation was mounted, by the time forces went in. If I may, for some time, our forces had remained deployed in this area. They were already camping there, so that it takes 4 to 5 hours sometimes in some mountains to climb. They were camping in those areas as special forces for quite some time, so that there could be a two-way push should there be a need, that forces could climb and forces could come down and trap the terrorists. Then there was satellite communication. One of the communications was intercepted. Whether these terrorists got a local phone after months of being in this territory, whether they were using some other mechanism. So it was a combination of local intelligence and signal intelligence or technical intelligence that worked in identifying this area where these terrorists were. That's what sources are telling us. 3 terrorists have been neutralized. That has been confirmed according to sources. They're foreign terrorists. That's also known. They're none of the local boys. And whether they're the same, whether they're the Pakistani terrorists who were involved in Pahalgam, will be known once positive identification is done. That should take a couple of hours, if not more. And then the government, I'm told, may officially be announcing it, but we will have to wait for more information to come in, Pooja.
And we'll, of course, wait for any official details to come, considering that the gunfight, at least the cordon search operation, as it is called, to ensure that only these number of terrorists were on and no more. Ashraf Wani continues to be with us. Ashraf, you have been updating us consistently. What is the right now clarity that we have with regard to how many terrorists who've been trapped, neutralized? How are the forces looking at this Operation Mahadev?
Pooja, actually, for our viewers, we want to show where this encounter currently is going on. Encounter has been almost over because 3 Pakistani terrorists, believe it, from Lashkar-e-Taiba had been killed in this Operation Mahadev. My cameraman is showing you this is the 15th Corps headquarters in the basement of this particular mountain. When you see the back side of the mountain, another mountain which is higher than this base mountain, that is the Mahadev mountain. And it is surrounded. There is on the other side of this mountain is Dachigam National Park. If you go through this slope of the mountain, this is the ridge of the mountains. It all along goes to Srinagar up to the Sonmarg. Because there then it comes Kangan and then it's Sonmarg. And on other side, if we move towards the right, then this mountain range goes to the Tral, which is in the Pulwama district, then reaches to the Pahalgam. And what we came to know earlier, when Pahalgam terror attack took place on the 22nd of April, we on the first day said that probably the terrorists involved in that heinous crime could be the terrorists who had carried out the terror attack on the under construction tunnel in Sonmarg in the winters of 2024. Then there was a probability, because it is not the first time. What I am telling you is what we are tracking for last 3 years. There was a permanent hideout of the TRF terrorists in the Dachigam National Park. What was being done when one hideout was busted? The terrorists managed to develop another hideout just behind these mountains. Our viewers can easily assess. It is not far from the Srinagar city. Where I am currently standing, it may be hardly 5 to 6 kilometers by road, and by air it is less than 1 kilometer, where this encounter is currently going on. What the Gao was saying, that there was the complete vigil on the movement of all those terrorists who were involved in the Pahalgam terror attack, not only here in the Dachigam National Park, in the mountains behind me, but also in the other areas, including Kukarnag, including the Pahalgam itself. And these operations were carried out till the Baltal, which is the base camp. Currently, the Amarnath Yatra is going
We have
on.
huge news coming in that there was a tip-off received from the locals itself that 3 Pakistan terrorists have been present in this area. This is human intelligence network, and that is why this has come to the rescue of our armed forces as well. That is when the Indian Army launched an operation, J&K Police. The CRPF also joined in. It's a joint operation right now. Inside details of Operation Mahadev that we are bringing to you right now. The surveillance was on. Army was tracking suspicious communication as well. I bring in Gaurav Sawant as much here. Gaurav, as the details that are coming in, that there were, and because these are forest areas, whether it is nomadic tribes or other locals, that when we say, and remember the times when there would be a mob coming in to interrupt the operations, we have to also appreciate that there are these certain groups who do assist and ensure that these terrorists will be nabbed and give a tip-off to our armed forces as well. So this is the information that is coming in, that it appears that there were some locals from the nomadic groups who possibly could have tipped off the 3 Lashkar terrorists, Pakistan terrorists, and from different groups. Gaurav.
The Bakarwals, you know, they are in the mountains and they do have a lot of intelligence in terms of movements that they spot, and they're also trackers, and the security forces, whether it's the army, the Jammu Kashmir police or the Central Reserve Police Force, they're always in touch with them, and vice versa, because in a crisis the armed forces usually help them out. So these the Gujars and the Bakarwals, they immediately gave information. So one, there was a tip-off. Human intelligence. 2, satellite intelligence, technical intelligence in terms of listening devices, listening to that area, listening to any chatter that's happening in that area. And this Dachigam forest areas, Ashraf was just telling us, and what my sources were telling us just a short while back, that the army had permanently deployed some forces in that area. And why had they deployed?